เอาละค่ะจาก STech นะคะเราไปดูในเรื่องของ GovTech กันบ้างดีกว่านะคะวิกฤตโควิดนั้นก็ส่งผลกระทบมากมายต่อเศรษฐกิจบ้านเรานะคะทำให้โครงสร้างทางเศรษฐกิจนั้นเปลี่ยนไปจากเดิมซึ่งบทบาทของ GovTech ได้มีส่วนให้ธนาคารแห่งประเทศไทยหรือว่าแบงก์ชาตินั้นปรับบทบาทนะคะให้สอดรับกับวิกฤตได้อย่างมีประสิทธิภาพซึ่งบทบาทของ GovTech นั้นจะมีมากขึ้นเรื่อยๆอย่างไรในการปรับโครงสร้างเศรษฐกิจในประเทศนะคะในช่วงนี้เราจะไปรับฟังข้อมูลจากดร.นันทโชติ ฉัตรสง่าท่านก็คือผู้ช่วยผู้อำนวยการฝ่ายบริหารความเสี่ยงทางการเงินสายบริหารความเสี่ยงองค์กรธนาคารแห่งประเทศไทยค่ะเชิญค่ะ
Director, Financial Risk Management Division of the Bank of Thailand. Today I'm going to share with you lessons learned by the central bank in mitigating the impact of the pandemic on the financial institution, as well as the introduction of technology in order to strengthen our economy from bottom up. During the first half this year, Thailand was faced with the pandemic crisis of COVID-19. The Thai economy suffered from a serious recession. In fact, it is a new round of economic crisis, and we anticipate the impact to be much deeper than the Tom Yam Goong crisis back in 1997. The crisis was triggered by the outbreak of a new strain of virus. Nobody expected it. Many industries did not anticipate the outbreak and did not have made any preparation for it. And we are seeing far-reaching impact on the corporate sector. And in fact, it is now shifting the world's economy and is likely to change the structure of the world economy, not simply in Thailand. At the moment, we are relaxing restrictions as a result of the pandemic, particularly in Thailand, and people are beginning to look ahead how Thailand recovery is going to be post-COVID-19. At the start, people hoped that the V-shaped economic recovery would be accomplished, but it would be difficult. A V-shaped recovery means that the economic dip would be followed by a quick recovery afterwards. It is difficult to achieve because in that scenario, the economy would be rebounds back to good health very quickly. But what we have seen during the pandemic was that the economic structure of the world has been disrupted almost completely, and the Bank of Thailand has recognized this point. So how quickly will the Thai economy adjust it and recover? The sooner we recover, the closer it is to the V-shaped economic recovery we hoped for. But it might not be a fully or completely quick recovery. It may resemble more of a W-shaped recovery. It might be another aftershock, a small aftershock post-pandemic. A complete lockdown might not be necessary. But without any new wave of outbreak or new cases, we may be recover soon after, but a V-shaped recovery is still very much unlikely. And the Bank of Thailand expect that the revival of the Thai economy will be accomplish in the next 2 years. Why does it take so long? Because the rest of the world is still suffering from the consequences of the pandemic, and the Thai economy is an open one, relying quite a lot on external sector, particularly tourism and export. So even if Thailand has managed the pandemic well, our trading partners are still in the midst of the outbreak, and therefore our exports are seriously affected. And if we focus on tourism, which is a main contributor to the Thai GDP, has been affected severely. In our projection, the GDP might be in the most negatively affected among ASEAN countries, because the size of the tourism sector, comparatively speaking, or compared to the GDP or compared to other countries, tourism represents the biggest contributor to the GDP. And this crisis is different from other crises we face, because travel or cross-border travels have been disrupted completely, and it will take time before international travel will be back to normalcy, or at least until a vaccine is discovered. So it may take time for tourism to rebound back to normal. So post-COVID-19 economic structure will shift significantly. It might not be deglobalization as some people expected, but the interconnectedness and connectivity among countries may take on a new form. Digitalization may play a big role, and the economy may turn into digital base. And the supply chain, of course, will undergo major shifts. Instead of intercontinental dependency, we anticipate that the reliance will be more focused on regionalization. And this is what the projection from the Bank of Thailand side. As a result, individual industries may suffer different consequences. As I have outlined the changes, these changes pose serious challenges to the Thai economy. So how are we going to adjust to the post-COVID-19 realities? What about the skill levels of labor force? They have to be tech-savvy, to be computer literate, and resources have to be allocated and to address the problems. And the longer we delay this adjustment, the cost would be higher, and it would be more painful. And importantly, disposable income or household income has been impacted, because many economic activities came to a complete stop, and the result of the economic stimulus by central bank will keep interest rate low. And because of the global economic slowdown, major central banks will tend to keep interest rate low, and the low interest rate scenarios will remain with us for quite some time. And as a central bank, we will have to continue to maintain a financial stability at the same time as strengthening economic growth. The Bank of Thailand has been tasked during the pandemic to do quite a number of things, and as I mentioned that this crisis is different from what we have seen so far. And traditionally, as a central bank, we are to maintain the financial stability and security and the regulators of the financial sector and providing support for banks and financial sectors and to ensure stability of the payment systems, printing money and creating financial and payment infrastructure. But during the pandemic, we had to adjust our roles in response to the ongoing crisis. During the pandemic, GovTech was utilized to analyze data. And as a first point, I like to mention, we introduced analytics and big data to be used not only to analyze financial market or bond market, but we trying to explore the relationships between different financial markets and in order to come up with the impact of the pandemic and to come up with the appropriate policy platforms. And we find that the financial stability may not depend on commercial bank because the financial sector are interlinked, covering stock market, bond market, cooperatives. And so the Bank of Thailand has to issue measures to cover bond market and mutual funds as well through MFLF, which provides support for mutual funds, and through the DFF to support the private debt market. Without the use of big data and analytics, we might not be able to formulate a comprehensive policy platforms to oversee all these related entities. At the start of the pandemic, the central bank recognized the need for comprehensive and linked packages. So we worked with the stock market and the SEC to approve backstop measures to allow financial sector to operate without any disruption. So we oversee both the bond market and mutual funds. Following the issuance of relevant measures, we analyze data further to see the results of the support measures. And several packages were issued to mitigate impact of businesses and the public as a result of the lockdown. Small debt repayment extension terms for housing loan, for personal loans, and SME soft loan packages have been offered. And right now, we are seeing the situation stabilized. The control of new cases has been very effective. And so in the next stage, there will be targeted assistance packages. For example, debt restructuring help will be provided with the collaboration with financial institutes through debt consolidation, meaning that credit card debts, personal debts, and high purchase debt for purchasing motorcycles will be consolidated together with housing loans in order to maximize the use of collaterals placed. So credit card debts and personal loan will become debts with collaterals or more secured. These new measures have come out as a result of the use of big data and analytics in order to oversee and provide support for the whole financial sector. It had already been applied to large corporate sector. Another issue of concern is the employment. It is recognized that the job market has been severely impacted as a result of the lockdown in order to prevent further spread of of COVID-19. So manufacturing sectors, which is a key employer, suffer quite a lot as a result. And looking ahead, it is unlikely that the job market will return to normalcy because purchasing powers in our country as well as others will be reduced and manufacturing capacity will not be fully utilized, and robotics are replacing labor force and new graduates as well as the workers in the market will be faced with the increasing risk of unemployment. And it is also unlikely that we'll see 40 million tourist arrivals every year in the near future. Big groups from China, from Europe may not return in the near future. So our strategic responses have to be changed. So for the public, the Bank of Thailand focus on strengthening financial well-being of individuals, strengthening financial management of households, because even before the pandemic, we have already recorded quite high debt level at the household level. And as a result of the pandemic, purchasing power of households has shrunk significantly. And the financial world will continue to see low interest rate for the time being, and in fact in the future, and meaning that savers will suffer as a result. People and household income will drop, and as a consequence of the lockdown during COVID-19, people were laid off and they spend time at home and spend time with online media. We collected data about youth groups, and we found that online gambling during the pandemic rose by 50%. And many of these online gamblers were students because they did not find any other ways to earn a living, and pyramid schemes were also on the rise. In order to persuade people who are out of jobs to get involved and to get money quickly, many scams propped up in the online world. And the Bank of Thailand realized that in order to educate the public and prevent them from getting involved with dubious schemes online, we need to arm our population individually with knowledge through outreach campaigns. And this can be done through GovTech products. First of all, in terms of education, public education, the Bank of Thailand has initiated and a financial well-being project, and we set up a consumer protection center. Sorry. Debt clinic to help individual debtor to restructure, to negotiate with commercial bank or creditors to restructure that debt, and to set up a center to help provide advice on debt restructuring, on personal debt restructuring. And the Bank of Thailand also recognized the importance of encouraging people to use digital technology. Previously, the prompt pay infrastructure was muted. In fact, this system was initiated 2-3 years ago, and during the pandemic, people tended to avoid using paper money to prevent the spread of the disease. Therefore, mobile payment had been used more widely, and that is an example of GovTech that has been used and make payment system run more smoothly. In addition, an Internon project has been created in order to facilitate interbank payments. In the past, interbank transfer has to go through an intermediary. In this case is the central bank. So with this new system, the role of central bank as the back office would be eliminated to streamline the payment and transfer system utilizing the blockchain technology. So this is the role of GovTech to enhance efficiency and effectiveness and speed up the digitalization of the Thai economy. In addition, we also run public education programs via Thai via mobile application to help the public detect fraudulent banknotes, because during the pandemic there have been various types of schemes and scams deceiving the public, and the use of fraudulent banknotes is one form of such scams. So the use of mobile applications to detect forged banknotes will prove helpful to the public. So the Bank of Thailand has been active in introducing GovTech from the examples that I have cited. We started using GovTech from the formulation of policy to provide assistance to the financial sector, the debt market, and mutual fund industry by providing full-fledged support instead of just focusing on overseeing commercial banks. So the scale is much bigger. And then post-pandemic, we also like introduce digitalization to the wider public. So the digital payment system has been strengthened, and public education policy on financial management, on savings, and on consumer protections, and introduction of online applications to detect fraudulent banknotes have been implemented by the Bank of Thailand in order to strengthen the economy and to speed up the economic recovery. So thank you very much.
โลกและสามารถที่จะฟื้นตัวจากวิกฤตโควิดได้เป็นอย่างดีค่ะเดี๋ยวช่วงหน้านะคะก็ยังคงเป็นเรื่องของ STech และ GovTech ค่ะ How GovTech could lead us to inclusive society เราพักกันสักครู่นะคะและอีกสัก5 นาทีกลับมาเจอกันค่ะ